Working in the United States is pretty much different compared to working in Indonesia. In the United States, the work environment is professional, but at the same time, it's a bit more casual. So don't be surprised if you happen to see someone bring their pet to work. The work culture and the dress code in the US is pretty much different compared to other countries. The people prefer to dress casually unless the policy and the company states otherwise. The work schedule are also flexible, and there are no apparent hierarchy between the managers and their subordinates. This is very interesting actually, because this is the opposite to the working culture in Indonesia, which more formal and tends to prioritize the superiors. It is necessary here in Indonesia to get to know, to greet and address the superiors by suitable titles. Regardless all the differences that I mentioned earlier, both of Indonesian and Americans are very polite, helpful, and friendly. The only difference that the Indonesian doesn't hesitate to ask a personal question to the coworkers. And lastly, both of Indonesian and Americans have similar working hours, which is around 40 to 45 hours a week. And both of them are really appreciate professionalism and punctuality at work.
So, hello, my name is Rangga Daniswara. You can call me Rangga. I'm gonna talk about working culture between Indonesia and Singapore. Indonesia people are really different than the Singaporean while in terms of workplace, lifestyle, and culture. As Indonesian, we do not have the sense of time is money, while Singaporean has a culture to hurry on everything. They consider unprofessional to be late on appointment. They maintain to on time in every appointment. Singaporeans also have much more mutual respect to each other. However, Indonesia is very kind place and friendly about the living cost in Indonesia is considerably cheaper than Singapore. So, in the end, we can save amount of money. But some say that salaries in Singapore are better than in Jakarta. It is not always true because of the living costs in Singapore are expensive. Differences between Singapore and Indonesia are languages. They speak different language. Bahasa Indonesia used for both business and education in Indonesia, so English is spoken quietly in Indonesia. By contrast, English is the medium of education and business in Singapore. Indonesia culture uncertainty upset on this dimension and thus have a low preference for avoiding uncertainty. This means that there is a strong preference in Indonesia toward the Javanese culture of separation of internal self from external self. For example, when a person is upset, it is habitual for Indonesia not to show negative emotion or anger externally. They will keep smiling and be polite, no matter how angry they are. This also means that maintaining workplace and relationship harmony is very important in Indonesia. And no one wishes to be transmitter or bad or negative news or feedback. Another difference is a pragmatic culture. People believe that truth depends very much on situation, context, and time. They show an ability to adapt tradition easily to change conditions, a strong propensity to save and invest, thriftiness, and preferences in achieving results. Singapore culture in individualist, societies, people are supposed to look after themselves and their direct family only. In collectivist societies, people belongs to in groups that take care of them in exchange for loyalty. Uncertainty avoidance in Singapore, people obey to many rules not because they have need for structure but because of high PDI. Singaporeans call their society a fine country. You get a fine for everything. Thank you.
Hi guys, nice to meet all of you, even though it's online, but I'm glad to see you all. It's been a year now since I left Indonesia and decided to work in UK. And now I will share my experience working in UK. Based on my own experience, working in UK is pretty much different compared to working in Indonesia. My first week working in UK felt very different from the time I worked in Indonesia. There are many cultural differences between the work culture in Indonesia and in the UK. The first thing that I noticed about the difference in work culture was the first month I worked here. In UK, workplace culture is generally more relaxed and social compared to Indonesia. Where in Indonesia, workplace culture is generally strict. Although the work culture in UK is generally more relaxed, but that doesn't mean that the people in UK don't work hard. They still work hard even though the workplace is generally more relaxed. And British employees have a custom that after a hard week of work, they deserve to let off steam and unwind by socializing with colleagues. And it's very different from Indonesia, where the Indonesian employees choose to go home and meet their families. And I think this is the biggest differences between working culture in Indonesia and in UK. In UK, it's not necessary to use title like Mr. or Miss to address colleagues. But in Indonesia, it's necessary to use title like Mr. or Miss to address colleague. At the first time, I was very shocked about this culture. But in UK, it's a much less formal way of communicating with each other. So don't be surprised if your colleague mentions the manager's name right away. Besides that, there are many huge differences in ethics. For example, lunch ethic. Is it common for employees in UK to eat at their desk in order to get the work done? Whereas in Indonesia, it's very uncommon for employees to eat at their desk and prefer to go to canteen. Although there are many differences between the work culture in Indonesia and in UK, but there are some similarities between the work culture in Indonesia and in UK. Working hours in Indonesia and UK generally are the same, where employees start arriving around 8 a.m. and start leaving around 5:30 p.m., with office generally empty after 7 p.m. And I think that's all I can share about my working experience in UK. And how about you?
Hello guys, it's me Iqbal. Greetings from New York, United States. It's been so long since we are all getting in touch. Since I've moved on from Jakarta to the United States. I just want to share to you how much different it is since I've been moving on from being a Jakartan to being a Yankees. Well, in my workplace, it's really hard to keep up with the rhyme. Everyone relentlessly working and being mobile every time, while in Jakarta it isn't the same. And to socialize, well, the difference is we don't talk too much about the private things in our lives. We don't talk about religion, about our family, and everything else regarding with that. And well, at least my coworkers, although they didn't share too much, but they helped so much. They helped me so much in my everyday's life because it's really hard for a new guy in a new place. They helped me with that. And you know, the culture in United States and Indonesia is also different. I'm a Muslim, obviously, and it's been really hard for me to keep up with the prayer time. So I have to I have to work overtime on and on to keep up with the working time that I lost in my prayer time. I do all that well, the rent, what else? I have to keep my life in New York, nothing else. I guess at least that's the major thing that I would like to share to you guys. I really hope that I will meet you again soon, because so many restrictions here and there. I hope it's all gone. Well, see you when I see you.